Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the CodersArts. So in this series of episode, we talk about projects detail and we basically be showcasing our projects. And moreover, we talk about its core feature, what are the technology, what are the use cases, and also the logic behind it. So maybe if you are watching this type of video or you following this series, so it going to help more, getting the idea how this type of project is built and how actually this come into the existence, and what are the different challenges and what are the different uh, you know uh, challenges, or what are the most of the things learning you will get this type of project. So basically this was our purpose of recording this type of episode. Okay, so in today episode, we are diving deep into another exciting projects that will explained by one of our team member, Pranav. So okay, so without so I just suggesting please watch till the end to get more insightful information from this project. Okay, so now let's dive in, and I'm inviting Pranav to explain about the project and what is all about code walkthrough and project walkthrough. Okay, so hi Pranav, now you can explain your project, and first you can present your screen, then you can start by problem statement and then code walkthrough. Okay,
Sure, sir.
yeah.
So, as you know, so this project is basically trying to again use the new technology of LLM to deliver, build such AI apps that can increase the productivity, workflow, etc. in businesses.
Mhm.
So, in the last video, as we saw, we have developed a chatbot for answering the customer queries. So,
Mhm.
in this, we have developed an app to basically to run through a particular set of given PDF and answer questions by going through that PDF.
Mhm.
So, by the purpose of this main app is to because certain reports, articles, or minutes of the meeting will be printed in a long PDF formats or Word document. So it will be very difficult for people to like analyze through that, find meaningful information from it. So
Mhm.
for that, we are like building an app so that we can just directly upload the PDF and ask the questions to that particular LLM and
Mhm.
get answers from that much
Mhm.
easier.
Okay, so in simple term, we can say we are chatting with the help of PDF, right? What are the information
Yes,
given
sir.
in PDF? Based on that, just like we're chatting with some teacher asking some question, right? So similarly, whatever written in the PDF, so you will get the answer, or maybe is it also you're getting summarization, or maybe first you have to ask some prompt, then based on that PDF will answer. It's just like question answer, right?
Yes, sir. So again, it depends. So the current, because of the hardware restrictions, the
Mm-hmm.
current open source LLM we are using only can generate very short answers, say, or 1 or 2 lines at maximum.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, fine. So obviously the code level everything will be same. Only the computational power will be only changed, right? So if you have more
Yes.
data, yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, got it.
So in this, we are again using the open source LLM called as Google Flan T5 base. So
Mm,
which is an LLM which is released by Google,
mm,
and it has been like trained on a very large data set
mm,
of around I think around more than 1 TB data set of general text data. So this model is able to correctly predict the
mm,
next possible word as a
mm,
similar LLM.
mm,
And again, this model is like relatively small, so it can run on very simple GPUs such as the consumer GPU we are having in our laptops
mm,
and
mm,
computers.
mm,
So we are using that because it is just for the showcase purpose. We are showing this is the power of LLM that you can deploy. So again,
mm,
if we want, we have also added an option to use the OpenAI's API key in case if you want a more powerful LLM at the back end to like give you better answers
mm,
for the same question. So after loading the model, we have to first make sure that we are using a somewhat very good embedding layer. So what this embedding layer will do is that we know we cannot give direct text to the machine learning or any type of ML model. We have to convert it into numbers. So what this embedding does is that it takes the particular set of input text and it converts into the number so that it can be fed into the model. So we have to make sure we are using a very good again embedding layer so that we can get that particular a large enough embedding layer so that all the words can be basically covered for we can so that we can give it to the large language model.
Hmm.
So after that, we have a function to upload the PDF, and we have a option to ask the questions. And after clicking ask a question, we can get the answer from that particular LLM. So I have just for the illustration purpose downloaded a machine learning page of Wikipedia so that we can ask questions from it.
Hmm.
So I have uploaded that document, and we can just ask a question: What is this document about?
So is the processing done? How is processing work? Already processing done or
No, sir.
after?
So for each question, we are loading that particular. So what at the back end happens is that since we cannot give a whole PDF text input to the model because there is a limit of input limit for each
Hmm.
LLM, sir. So what we are doing is that once we upload the PDF, it gets stored in something called as vector store database, sir. So depending on the question, uh, depending on the
Okay.
question, from the vector store database, it extracts all the relevant text from that PDF.
Hmm.
So
Okay. So
for yes,
hmm. Yeah. So when we ask some questions, so both like this will process all the PDF file, and then based on that, they will get best answer, right? So
yes,
when click on that. Okay. Okay. Good.
yes, yes.
Hmm.
Now it is working.
So what was the issue? Like what you have fixed in here?
So it was trying to get the GPU from the my particular device, and for some reason I don't know why it was not able to find the GPU. So it
Hmm.
was showing the since we were trying to run the model on the GPU, it was showing GPU in the count as 0. So because of that, it was getting that particular error.
Hmm. So before, like, it was taking the GPU, detecting, or
Yes, sir. So
yeah.
I
Okay.
upgraded my PyTorch library yesterday for some other project. So because of that, yesterday from I had issues with
Hmm.
like detecting the GPU.
Okay, 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 okay. That might be. So okay, so maybe that only concern will be, that will be fast, right? But there is
Yes,
no
sir.
any impact on answer. Okay, 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 fine. So yeah, so how we can so only we have to ask like a straightforward question, or we can ask any random type of question. So is there a restriction of the asking question limit, or
No, sir. We can ask any type of questions.
okay? So ask some question that is not inside in this document. Ask some question
Okay, sir.
like ask if there is not like what, like what is physics, what is chemistry, like that, ask some question like that. Tell me something about the physics or chemistry or math. Only what is needed, or like you can ask like question mark, do you know what is physics, or yeah, okay, that is also fine.
So this might so we might get an answer because since like the particular LLM will be trained on a large data set
Hmm.
already, right, sir? So it might get that information from that to basically answer this over here.
Okay,
So
okay,
there is a
okay,
slight chance that it might answer.
okay, just ask this one, so what we are getting the answer.
No, sir, it just returns the question because so in the
Okay.
prompt we would have given a particular question for the
Hmm.
user to be input, right?
Hmm.
So because we are not able to get any information from that particular PDF as the context from which it has to answer, So it just returns the questions.
Okay, so basically we are using Flan T5 base model, okay, because they are already trained on many large data set, right?
Yes, sir.
But here we are trying to fine tune on our own custom data, right? So these
Yes.
are once they are fine tuned, so only will answer according to your data, not like that one. Maybe you can do some code level things so that outside this PDF they will answer type of thing, right? So yeah, this limitation, am I right or not?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. 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 So fine. I'll explain a little bit more about yeah. So obviously, I know this is you are implementing from a scratch. So this is not as a enterprise level project. So just we are creating from a scratch how the everything is working. So basically,
Yes.
these are our uh, plan or purpose of showcasing this project. Based on that, like what are the custom need? Like once the PDF is uploaded or any document is uploaded. So based on that you can ask many questions, right? We can build like that for anyone needed like that, right? So this was just a demo. Okay, okay, so first explain what is this level, like what is the LLM, and also let's explain what are the use of embedding. So first explain, first explain what is the model selection, like you have selected Flan T5 model. So what is that model? Okay, for then you can explain what is the LLM, little bit about the context. Then you can also explain what is the embedding. So go one by one, like what is this Flan T5 model? Okay, so first explain about this one.
Sure, sir. So the Google Flying T5 is like we can easily download it from the Hugging Face library of transformers. So
Hmm.
it is like an open source LLM released by Google, and the purpose of this LLM is text to text generation. So what it basically, we give a input text, and based on that input text, it generates a set of output texts.
Hmm.
So this is the basic concept, and Google have already fine tuned this particular model to do some very basic instruction level task. So
Hmm.
such as please answer the following question, like what is the boiling point of nitrogen. The model will able to directly tell the answer for it.
Hmm.
So on basic simple task, the model has been already fine tuned, and this model is relatively small. So if you see like say OpenAI's ChatGPT model, it again goes into say 500 or 600 billion parameters, but this particular model is size is only 248 million parameters.
Hmm.
So it is like a significantly lesser size model. So the ability of the model is also very much limited in our case.
Hmm.
So, but the only good thing is that this can be fine tuned on very small tasks such as this, and can be easily deployed for any type of purpose.
Hmm. Yeah, so same model we have used for previous project as well, building the chatbot, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we can. So what are the different type of projects we can build on this one? Like one you have build on uploading the PDF. Based on that PDF, you can ask question answer, or maybe you can create some chat assistant. Based so you can also in chatbot also you can upload your custom data. Based on that, will answer. So what are the other type of project build can we build on this model?
So some other type is that if we like again depending on how we are fine tuning this particular model, we can like there are endless possibilities. So if we want uh, there is some custom data set where we can input a set of input text and get output codes in SQL, or we have some again some other data set which we can use it to fine tune a particular what we call is table question and answering. So if we give it a Excel sheet or a table format data as input, and we can ask questions from that also.
Yeah, so basically this generating text-based answer, right? Not images
Yes,
generate.
sir.
This model is okay. So any things that is possible in text generations part, text content. It's a any content that is form of the text. So they can do either maybe building chatbot summarizations. So you are already talk about the like yeah, language converter. Converter maybe reading the books. Based on that you can question answer like this. Maybe normal discussion. Okay, so yeah, in that context, there might be endless possibility based on the things. So basically, this is a text-based generation model, right? So they can
Yes.
perform. Okay, okay. Okay, fine. So explain a little about the code and okay. So first, okay, let's talk. Go to the interface. Like, so this we are model use. So what is LLM? So explain what is the use of LLM and what are the others LLM available. So,
Okay, so LLMs are nothing but large language models. So it is built on something called as something like how we are having convolutional neural network or recurrent neural network.
mm,
Similarly, in large language model, we are using something called as transformer.
mm,
So transformer is nothing but an encoder decoder
mm,
unit where the encoder part is we are having something called as a self attention layer. So
mm,
this self attention layer, what it tries to do is that over a period of time when we are training, it tries to prioritize which is the most important word from that particular sentence, and by doing so we are able to like generate a very good uh, distinction between what is important and what is not. And we feed this self after the self attention layer, we feed it into a simple feed forward neural network, so it
mm,
learns based on this particular attention layer. So in both encoder and decoder we have what we call this small module of self attention layer and feed forward layer. So
mm.
by using
Okay.
this
Yeah, I got it.
yes,
So I think you are going in more depth, but I think
yes sir.
just was I asked for overview. So go to the interface once more.
Okay.
Once again. Okay. So okay. So you already talk about embedding. So okay. So explain again like what is the main use of embedding? So without embedding we cannot do, or what is meaning of embedding?
Okay, so embedding layer is nothing but we have to, since the ML models cannot directly process the text data as such, so
Mm,
we have to somehow convert it into a integer or now in a numerical format. So each
mm,
word will be assigned a particular set of number. So wherever that particular number comes, we have to assign that particular number. So these embedding layers will be trained to convert this text data into a numerical data. So
mm,
again, depending on a particular set of embeddings, they mostly have inbuilt tokenization also. So tokenization is nothing but we are how we are splitting that particular set of sentence by word, or each letter by letter, or by sentence by sentence.
mm,
So by doing so, we can assign that particular number to that particular set of what we call as token. So that is nothing but if we split a sentence word by word, so each word will be a particular token.
mm,
So a token can be assigned a particular number. So by using that particular number, we can give it to the LLM, and the LLM will be able to figure out what is the given input, and it will generate output again in the form of numbers. So we will again use the embedding layer to get the output text also from that.
mm. Okay. So in this question and answering, so is there any like limitation in term of hallucination? They might be not giving the correct answer or something like that, or maybe something wrong. So is there chances of this?
So as far as the current design goes, I don't think there is a possibility because we have designed the prompt in such a way that it can only use the given context to generate that answers.
Okay, okay. Okay, fine. So now explain how project setup, like not go in depth. We'll ask like what are the code base level, but first explain how the code setup work and what is the flow of this project. You start from the, like first you have to models load the data. So understanding the how step by step the project setup and what are the flow of the project. Okay.
Okay. So the whole project is like built on Django.
Mm,
Uh, why we are using basically Django is that we can club multiple apps if we need by building a very basic structure around that same app.
mm,
So after that, in order to like uh, load the LLM, it is so what we have to do is that first we have to install a certain libraries called as transformers. So transformer is nothing but a library given developed by the Hugging Face to download models from Hugging Face and use it directly. And then for chatting with the PDF, we are using the library called as LangChain.
mm,
So LangChain like gives us a very good structure to that this particular project because they have inbuilt classes or functions that can like directly retrieve the text from the data set, then store that data set for later use, so that every time we don't have to note the same particular data. And also it have very good like question and answer retrieval algorithm, so that it can get the relevant context from the given PDF and give that particular context back to that LLM.
Mhm.
So in order to like just load the model, we can just use uh, so first, in order to like load the tokenizer, we just have to use auto tokenizer. So by using that auto tokenizer, we can directly load the tokenizer from that for that particular model.
Mhm.
So after using the tokenizer, then we have to load the particular model.
Mhm.
So in order to load the model, in the previous case, we would have used the auto sequence to sequence large language model function, but here we are directly using a pipeline function given by the transformer. So
Mhm.
by using the pipeline function, we just have to specify what is the model name and then give it the tokenizer. Then we can there are like many model keyword arguments which we can specify over here, and after that we can directly get that particular pipeline, and we are directly using that pipeline in the lang chain to build these apps.
Okay.
So after like loading the tokenizer and the model, we just have to make sure we have to create that particular set of UI interface for the front end for the user to interact.
Mhm.
So once we upload the PDF, what we have to do is that we have to convert it into the here we are converting into a JSON format.
Mhm.
So from that particular not JSON format, in a vector format. So
Mhm.
after loading the file, we are calling that particular instance where we are defined functions to load that particular PDF. And after, as you can see here, we have uploaded. So this basically handles the PDF part.
Mhm.
So after loading the PDF, we are converting that into embeddings and storing it in the LLM.
Mhm.
Then we are initializing the model. Then after that, we are getting the vector database from that particular PDF. Then using that like particular PDF to get the answers.
Mhm.
So we are returning the answer to that particular front end. Uh,
Mhm.
so we can display that particular answer in that UIs.
Mhm. Okay. So, okay. So views. So the two main file views and one is pdf.py, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So first we are just loading the embedding, then loading that particular LLM, then initializing that embedding, then giving it to the model, then getting that particular vector context from that particular loaded PDF, and we are generating that answer from that particular LLM by giving the context and giving that answer to the front end UIs.
Mhm. Okay.
So that is the basic construction of that apps.
Okay. So is it completed? Okay.
Ah,
Scroll
yes,
down.
sir.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. So we are not going to depth in how the Django works. So basically, this was showcasing how where were all the LLM part are connected. Okay, so in pdf.py or pdf that was the whole thing, right? This
Ah,
was,
yes,
I
sir.
think, this was the Django part. Their main part was there, right? Okay, 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 fine. So go to the interface one again. So ask some questions like, and verify that the answer is correct. Okay, so with the
Okay.
reference of PDF. Okay, later you can implement some type of progression, so that it will look like you're getting the answer. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So is it correct? Answer is correct.
Yes, sir. But because we are like limited by the output of that particular LLM, so
Mm-hmm.
it is not able to generate like perfect text from that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what are the things extra we have to do for getting the perfect answer?
So again, so as I said, so we need a like hardware requirement such as the GPU's
Mm-hmm.
requirement is there, right? So if we have access to like cloud instances, say Amazon or any other cloud where we can host this particular model using the GPU available over there, so we will be able to use much better, say LLM to get a much better answer than this.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you're saying like it will more perfectly fine tune on GPU, right? The only concern
Yes.
is currently we are using CPU, so that's why getting this type of answer, right? So
Yes.
okay. Yeah. So yeah, this type obviously maybe you already explained what are the use cases somebody have, somebody can upload this type of books, and based on that book somebody can ask some questions. So it may work as a assistant, personal assistant or book something, because you all talk about for meetings notes, anything, or maybe somebody to understand the complete book. So based on that books they want to ask some questions, right? So maybe somebody created their own personal notes, when they're studying in school, colleges, and based on they ask the questions, or maybe based on they can have revision. Yeah, there might be endless use cases. I'm not confining or saying that. Okay. Okay. So what are the main thing about this project and explain? Okay. So yeah, main challenging part and explain this project, and then you can go how somebody can start building this type of project. First, let's start what are the main challenging and what are the critical part where most of the people is stuck.
Okay. So the critical part again, the choosing that particular LLM for your particular project.
Mm,
So since this was a very small prototype app, we chose a very small model to answer a very particular or targeted questions. So if you want to answer more generalized question, again we have to choose a more generalized or a very large LLM that is able to answer a very large question in a proper format.
mm,
So the first again challenge will be loading that particular model, and if we are able to run that model, so we will have to do some trial and error for each model to see if we are able to get the required result before implementing that particular app. So once after like selecting the model, next major challenge is to choose the which embedding works the best, because the MPNet based way again it is a very small embedding compared to the other some other embeddings available in the open source space. Why we are using is that because this embedding layer perfectly fits fine with this particular model, so that's why we are using it here. So instead of this, if you want to go for a much larger embedding which has a much larger word or training in it, we can generate again much better results from that. So again, it is like trial and error. We have to determine which model works with which embedding.
mm.
Over here.
Okay. So how somebody should start? So what are the main profile of this should be like generative AI, large LLM, or AI expert? So what if somebody is working this type of projects, or so what is this profile called? So normal machine learning engineer, engineers, this will come, or maybe like
Generative
prompting.
AI.
Okay, generative AI developer engineer. So maybe not correct, but okay. So how somebody should start, from where they should begin? Anybody?
They should get to know how an LLM works. So
Hmm.
if we know how the transformer model works and how these LLMs are trained, uh,
Hmm.
so by knowing this knowledge, we can like get to know how.
Hmm.
So basically, these are all machine learning models are somewhat of a black box. So we have to give some input to get the output. So we have to learn how to give the proper input for all the different LLMs to see how we are getting the output. So it is more like a trial and error to see what kind of inputs. So for this particular Google, so the prompt design is slightly different from what we give it to a chat GPT. So again, we have to go through different online resources to see what are the particular details available regarding this particular model, and accordingly design the prompt for it to get the proper output response.
Okay. So yeah, so I'm asking like that. Suppose somebody is not, machine learning engineers, already don't
Yes.
know about machine learning. So suppose they only know Python. Okay.
Okay.
So it is a separate path. So they can start from generative AI or LLM, or they should know, depth about the machine learning. So how we are recommending? So how much you knowledge required for machine learning to make a career in generative AI?
Okay. So you need some basic knowledge other than Python to get into the generative AI field. So you need to know about like very basic machine learning knowledge, such as what is a regression classification, what is a natural language processing.
Hmm.
So how it was giving how the basically the text generation happens. So
Hmm.
this all LLMs are nothing but uh, models that is able to predict the next word given the set of previous words. So you need to understand how these concepts are being trained, uh,
Hmm.
so that we can get a basic idea. And again, if we go to the Hugging Face library itself, all the models will usually have how to load the model and how to get the give input and how to get the output. So all the details regarding that can be easily from each model's particular GitHub repository or Hugging Face site. So
Hmm.
by using that information, anyone having a basic knowledge of Python and some basic knowledge about machine learning can easily create this apps.
Yeah. So basically, it's normal understanding like what is machine learning, what is supervised, unsupervised, so that get the thing. So main thing here is because still this is a completely new field. So because still you have to know what are the different models. LLMs are available for different type of tasks. Okay, so that is the main thing, like selecting the right models for different tasks. Because if you are a generative AI developers, so most of the things you have to stuck, what are the new version or new LLM are available in the market. Suppose you are creating PDF question answer, right? So we have to update it like what are the different LLM are available by different company. Okay, so that based on that data, how accurately you are getting the answer. I think this will be the more measure of the task will be as a generative AI developer, right? Also,
Yes,
you go to more developer. If you are building your own models, if obviously fine tuning is nothing but knowing how well you are writing your prompt, right? So that is part of
yes,
first selecting the models, which model for each scenario, which type of app, which model will you use, how we accurately fine tune on the data, what are the quality of data. Other than that, if you want to build some so is this type of like we are doing some custom changes like passing some like suppose in machine learning if we're not getting good accuracy, so sometimes we are doing parameters, hyper parameters, some anything changes. So do we do this type of things in this project as well, or basically selecting the models, embedding the model, understanding the model, and then connecting with the interfaces. So it's like, or maybe in code level we do something, some modification with the models. So do we do?
um, in this particular app we have not done it, but there are options for us to do it also. So,
Okay, so that will help to improve accuracy, or what will that help?
yes, sir. So there is something called as precision of each weight.
Hmm.
So if that weight is particularly called as float precision 32, then after decimal points we can store up to 32 in numbers in that. So if we start reducing that numbers, then again the accuracy of the model can slightly differ. So if we decrease it, we can slightly reduce the accuracy, but we are able to gain much more loaded model in a much smaller space. So
Hmm.
that can help in certain cases. So if we increase the precision, we can get much better results.
Okay, okay. So maybe somebody want to go a little bit about grown up or experience in this field, so they can go with changing the code level, what are the options available, that models like to get the uh, desired result or desired output. Okay. Okay, so I think almost we have given this detail about this project. We have already talked about the technology, right? We have all about discussed use cases. Already talk about projects demo, right? Anything else? I think you have, or maybe it's completed
No,
overall.
sir. Covered like pretty much all the topics related to the apps.
Mhm. So that's all, everybody. So this was not, any harder projects. So, initially we tried to give, basic, basic, how the things project are initiating, how the things are working. Basically, maybe these are not as a final product. This is as a, just as a draft. Still, we are working on this. Prano is working on this project. So maybe if you are a student or developer, if you are working this type of project, and you need assistance from somebody who are already working. Okay, so also we are offering mentorship, or we can say workshop on any generative AI, LLM. So anything thing where you are needed, or maybe you are already working on some projects, or maybe this project you are building for your own uh, use cases. It may be based on any need what you are looking for. So if you are working this type of project and any stage of this projects we are facing some issues, so you can directly contact us, like contact at the rate CodersArts, and also you can connect with any of the our team members. Okay, so one of the team member is Pranav. So basically he is more specialized in native AI, LLM, or actually deep learning. So he was most of things he was working this type of project. Okay, so you need any part of help, so either student or developer, or even your any enterprises or startup company are looking for some developer who can work on your project. So we can also, our team can help to completing your projects. Okay, and so maybe if you're building any product, so obviously there is endless assistance based on what actually you need. So we have developers. Developer can help in any part, either need front end, back end, or maybe even you need fine tune these models, and also fine tuning part of improving the models accuracy, and what are the different options available by those models, right? Just like in this project, flan T5 base are uses. Also you can see we have used langchain. So what is the use of langchain? So there are some intermediate packages itself. Maybe not confined to this library only. So there, what are the different library used in this one? So you will also get help in this type of project. Okay, so there is no any limitations. Either you need one-on-one sessions, or maybe you are working some type of project, assignment project, or coursework, or anything else, or maybe you are building some project. So we are always there to help you. Okay, also you can connect with any of the team member developer to completed your time project on time. Okay, so that's all, everybody. So I hope you will get some insightful idea from this type of project, or from this. So if you have any doubt, or if you have learned something, or maybe if you are facing some challenges, or maybe we should discuss anything else, so you can also comment down below. We'll try to get, or you try to understand your comment, and we'll try to give correct answer, and how we are good. So basically these are, we are not too much, this is not final polish series. So this series basically we are just initiating to showcasing the project. Okay, so some project will be as a initial stage, some project will be final stage, like that. Okay, so this was just for demo. So also if you any help, or maybe if you have any suggestions, so what we should other thing than we should cover, and what other things are missing, so also you can comment below, and you can suggest us what are type of video, or what are the topic we should cover. Okay, so this was the final note. So I hope you will enjoy this video. Okay, so if you have Pranav anything to say as a final note, so you can say, or else we can
Oh, sir.
close it. Okay, okay, fine. So that's all, everybody. Thank you so much for watching this type of video. Let's meet in another one. Till then, keep learning, keep growing. Thank you for watching.